Hey guys, welcome to another interview. Tonight I've organised to sit down with Jordan Pauer. Jordan is a referee or was a referee with us for a number of years. G'day Jordan, how you going, mate?
Good yourself, Brad?
Yeah, very well. Thanks for joining us, mate. I guess the first question is, what have you been up to whilst we've been through lockdown one and now lockdown two?
Oh gosh, pretty much working the whole way through. As most people know, I'm a police officer, so it's pretty tough times at the moment and lots of work. And fortunately, I've still got a job, but yeah, it's
Yep.
pretty tough. So yeah,
And just catching up with a few Karens around the traps, eh?
yeah, always the Karens, unfortunately, down at Bunnings trying to
Yeah, no, really good. Thanks for that, mate. I guess the first question I'm going to ask you tonight is just, can you tell us when you first started at VBRA Knox and who was someone that you looked up to when you first joined us?
yeah. So I started in VBRA Knox probably 20. I think it started 2011 is when I started there. So I started refereeing under yourself, Brad, and a bit of Daniel and Ian on Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, Saturdays, and stuff. So I continued that for a long, long time, and then I got my A grade eventually, and then I started doing panel refereeing, and that led into Big V refereeing, which was a great passion of mine at the time, and I loved it going out and refereeing with all the other people from all the other associations, and but yeah, so that's been my kind of refereeing journey over the last 9 years. Obviously, the last probably 2, 3, I haven't been on Big V or junior panel, and I stepped down as a Monday night supervisor 2, 3 years ago as well, just to pursue career aspirations. But yeah, that's probably been my journey since I started in 2011. It's just a little snippet.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Thanks, mate. You were a supervisor and a committee member for a number of years. What's something you look back on that you're really proud of?
Probably the most proud thing of is when I was probably in myself as when I was as a committee member and on the tribunal delegate as well. I think like the most valuable thing for me is just helping those people as the tribunal delegate. I guess I had a little bit more um, aid in those people who were going to tribunals. So it was really one of my passions just to help those, especially the younger referees, as they're going through their first tribunal or they had that first real big incident where they're kind of maybe put off refereeing a little bit to kind of educate them that everything's going to be all right, things are going to be okay. Like this is the tribunal process that we're going to go through at the time, and I think that was my kind of like my most proud thing is when helping those younger referees when they've had that first big kind of shock at like a reporting stage when on their first big event.
Probably explains why you went into the police force as well, if
Yeah, exactly right.
all these naughty crooks all the time. I guess the other thing, mate, is the the skills that you learnt in your job. How did they transfer becoming a referee into what you do now as a police officer?
Yeah, a lot of the skills you learn as a referee are actually transferable, not just to me and my career now, but a lot of other careers for a lot of other people as well, like your communication skills and your problem solving skills, negotiation skills with other people, de-escalating situations. Unfortunately, we come across as referees when there's some really heated arguments, but either between other players or between and maybe a player and yourself. And those skills, especially for me, have been invaluable when I either have to communicate with someone who probably doesn't want to, probably not doing the right thing. But yeah, so those skills have probably been invaluable. And something secondly as well as leadership stuff, especially being a referee, an A grade referee or a senior referee, you really develop a lot of leadership qualities, especially when you're teaching younger people as well. They can really easily transfer across, not just to my job, any job at all.
Yeah, perfect. Like we've all thought about what's best and when is the right time to move on. But it seems like for yourself, you're really stuck at being a referee and then use those skills into what you wanted to achieve as becoming a police officer.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not just like refereeing's still a passion of mine, and I still do it when I can. But I probably don't do it as much as I can or as much as I want to these days, especially with my job. But it's one of those things that you stick with just because it's simply a passion. And these days, it's one of those relaxing things that you do. You come back to referee with your mates. You come back to chat with the players that you remember and know, and that kind of thing. And it's just one of those hobbies that I've kind of stuck with through and through.
So, what would be your number one piece of advice when obviously you deal with a lot of conflict as a police officer? What would be
Yeah.
your number one tip for guys on the court when they need to diffuse a situation? What would your advice be?
My advice is always be the one with the level head, always be the one that's not raising your voice, because that's always the first thing someone's going to do when they get a bit fiery at you is probably raise their voice. If you keep a calm body language, you keep the calm voice, that's probably going to just de-escalate the situation more than anything else that you're actually going to probably say and come out of your mouth. So if you're keeping the cool body language, just kind of saying, "Hey, mate, like I hear you. What's the situation? What's going on?" And even if you give them a "No worries, I'll see what I can do," often that calms the situation more than actually maybe promising someone something or maybe saying something that maybe you can't actually fulfill as a referee even.
Yeah, awesome. That's such great advice. And guess probably the other thing, mate. As a police officer, you've got to assess the situation, assess the risk or the danger before you enter it.
Yeah.
Transfer that into when you referee a basketball game, and you can see two players are getting rather hostile with each other. How do those skills compare from being a police officer to being a referee on the court?
Really similar as well. Again, obviously, it all comes down once again probably to body language and probably obviously little things that you catch in the corner of your eye as a referee. But body language is probably the number one thing that'll tell you when someone's probably going to go off at you, either in my job or as a referee. But yeah, when paying attention to people's body language, obviously, the head down, the shoulders over sort of thing. That's the kind of thing that's kind of little indicators, but it's really transferable to my job, especially now at the moment.
Yeah, because we also don't want, I guess, the Thursday night guys just jumping in and having a bit of a
Exactly.
while they're having a game. I guess just in summary, mate, what's something that's been the biggest takeaway for you that you learnt at maybe a really young age? Was there a situation that all of these things have led you to today? Was there something that you can remind yourself and go, yeah, I remember that time that really helped me, whilst it was negative at the time, helped me as a referee, and then also later in life?
Absolutely. I think one of the main things that I think it was maybe my second or third three-man game, and we're probably down a few referees, and it turned out that I had to be the crew chief on the game with two people who had never done a three-man game, and I've done three three-man games, and I had Daniel Batty, who was evaluating me at the time on as the supervisor and watching me how I did. And I'll be honest, I had the worst game I've ever refereed in my life. Butchered the game absolutely 100%. Didn't lead the boys who were refereeing underneath me. Didn't perform well myself. But the advice, and I was so down on myself at the time. But the thing that I think it was Daniel that said to me is like, use this as a learning experience. Like you're going to have really shit days where you referee and you underperform. Find out what made you have a shit game, build on it, don't do it again, and you're always going to learn from it. So you always got to have bad games as a referee. The thing is that you don't let those get you down, or maybe you have a big game that has a big blue in it. Don't let them get you down, sort of thing. You got to learn from it, learn from your mistakes, move on. You become a much better referee from it. I can guarantee you.
Awesome. That's such great advice, mate. I know I've had experiences too where I guess the game hasn't gone as well as what we would have thought, and to take the
Exactly.
positives out of that is obviously really important. Yeah, I guess the final thing, mate, is probably just a message of hope and support. What's going to get us through the next however long, because we've been out without basketball now for 4 months.
Exactly.
What's
Yeah.
your piece of a message of hope for the referees?
No, don't worry. Basketball will 100% be back. I can guarantee you. Can't keep me away from basketball. It'll be back. I can guarantee you guys. So, yeah, just keep holding on. Stay fit if you can. Keep doing runs if you can. Maybe do the beat test. I know not everybody likes it, but it's something that I actually do. So, yeah, stay positive, stay fit, and we will get through it all and back to basketball very shortly, I can guarantee.
That's awesome. Thanks heaps for joining us tonight, Jordan. Really appreciate it, mate. And keep those idiots off the street, will you?
Will do. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, buddy.